Before we move on to Ahmed Badir, you'll notice on the program we have a short video that's going to come up now. It's a 2 or 3 minute piece from CNN, followed by a very sad report from Sister Lamia regarding the murder of her brother. So if we can get to that video next. It's a CNN piece.
This is what happened when police first got hold of protester Lamia Siam, according to this activist video. And this is where, 5 days after the brutal police crackdown, his friends gathered to mourn. Even now, it was hard to find a safe mosque.
They're mourning here in small numbers, nervously, with a sense of fear that's entirely understandable when you learn how their friend Sharif came to die.
Tama collected and washed Sharif's unrecognizable body for burial.
His torso was fine, but his face, the doctors told me he was suffocated, and because of that, his face was swollen like a soccer ball to the point you could not make out his features, and his skin was totally black.
And the story we heard of his journey to that moment is sickening. After this arrest, he was among hundreds herded by police into this stadium from the Braba al-Adawiya mosque where police and protesters were clashing. Some were battered there, said this lawyer, whose phone rings constantly with families asking for help to find loved ones missing in the crackdown. In Sharif's case, one day there was good news, the next, the worst.
Emotionally, it was difficult for us. We could not bring ourselves to call families and tell them that their son, who we found alive yesterday, is now today dead. It's like these people are prisoners of war. The usual laws don't apply.
Sharif's last Facebook posting said, "I'm alright and detained in Cairo Stadium. Tell my parents not to worry, and I'm in the inside hall. Call my father." He was moved to a central Cairo prison and then put on a convoy headed to the city's north. One van in the convoy, state media said, took a police officer hostage. Police retaliated with tear gas and 37 prisoners suffocated. Sharif was one of them, activists said. He was buried Monday after 5 days of hell. Nick Payne-Walsh, CNN, Cairo.
That's the piece that was on CNN. Now I guess we're going to have a short video, a Skype report, I believe it's live, from Lamia, who's overseas. Have you got that?
Hello?
Hello, Lamia. Lamia, can you hear me here? We're here in the Jimmy Carter Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Are you there?
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
to see you. Yes, ma'am. We're going to give you a couple of minutes now to speak to the audience live. Can you tell us where you are calling from?
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. My name is Lamia Siam. My brother is Sham, who has been killed in Abu Dhabi prison a year ago by Egyptian police forces. Did they see the video, the report?
Yes, we have just seen the report from CNN, yes.
So Sharif was a 29 years old young man. He worked as an electric engineer in an international company, and he was also a life coach and counselor. He was never been affiliated to any political party or group. He was opposing Muslim Brotherhood policies in the last few months of the ruling, but this didn't stop him to go to Rabbi Square on August 14 to help the injured people, where he got arrested, as you guys see. So after a day of searching, we found him in a police station in a very bad situation. It was very crowded, it was very hot, there is no charges against him, and then they decided to move him to Abu Dhabi prison for more investigation. as he was crammed with 44 other people or other men in a very small van, metal box, and they kept them in a front yard of the prison for 8 whole hours with no air, no toilet. They didn't even open the door for them. For 8 hours, they suffered for a very extreme situation, and after then, they threw a gas bomb inside the car to suffocate to death. 7 men suffocate to death, including my brother. The corpse, the bad situation here that they couldn't get a chance to run. They were totally jammed in this car. The corpse was in very bad situation, very bad condition. They was like swollen and black, as you saw in the report. The officers who were in charge of this van, they went to trial, 4 of them, 4 officers, but they all set free now. They are unguilty, and the reason is who threw the gas bomb is unknown. So in the military section of, the van was surrounded with policemen, and there is unknown came inside and threw the gas bomb with it. Totally doesn't make any sense to anyone. In this annual memory, we pray very hard that the criminals, whoever was responsible for this massacre and murder, to get the same way, to be killed in the same way, until the Ministry of Interior, like the head of all the officers, we just pray every day to be killed, trapped in a very hot place and suffocate to death. My mother and parents, they can't believe it. They remembering in this day, after a whole year, we suffer injustice, and they sleep only with drugs. So we just pray that we will not be even sorry for any one of them to be killed the same way as Sharif died.
I understand the emotionalism and the position you've taken, and of course your story is unique for you, Sister Lamia, and we also know that this horror and atrocity has been committed thousands of times by those forces over there. We were privileged to see some of the photos of your brother before he passed away. We understand the contribution that hopefully will be recognized in months and years to come when freedom and democracy come back to Egypt. We want to thank you very much for being available for this presentation. God bless you, and we thank you for your contribution.
Thank you thank you. I'm sorry I'm not there. Like next time, I'll try my best to be there myself.
We cannot imagine what you're going through, and we just sympathize and send our condolences. We have a tremendous amount of committed people, Egyptians living abroad, that are here in this building right now at the Carter Center in Atlanta, Georgia. And again, we thank you, Sister, for your participation, and we'll be in touch in the future. Okay, now we're going to move on